this is paper 2 of 2019, Edexcel business. So to start with, it's section A. It starts with multiple choice question. You have to put a cross in the box, and if you have to change your answer, cut the cross and put another new cross. Which one of the following is an element of the design mix? So it's cost. There are three elements of the design mix: function, aesthetics, and cost. So here it's cost. Which one of the following is an example of an internal source of finance? That is, it comes from within the business. So it's selling assets. Rest of the three are external. 3 marker, use BLT. Expand your points into further 3 to 4 sentences. Explain one drawback to a business of using job production. Job production is slower than batch or flow. Therefore, productivity may be lower. As a result, less number of final products will be produced. This will lead the business buying smaller quantities of supplies, thus missing on the discounts of bulk buying, that is economies of scale. Hence, the cost of producing each unit may rise. Another 3 marker, explain one advantage to a business of producing a high quality product. The business may develop a brand image and reputation of high quality product seller. As a result, they could charge premium pricing. This could increase the difference between their revenues and costs. As a result, profit margins may be high, leading the business to be able to promote more of their business. Which two of the following are likely to be sent to a business by a person applying for a job? Application form and CV. So it's asking for 2. Which two of the following are likely to increase the productivity of a business? Retraining employees and introducing new technology. So this table contains information about new piece of machinery that a business wants to purchase. Average annual profit is given, cost of new machine is given, and it's asking to calculate the average rate of return. Start with the formula, then it's less likely that you'll make a mistake. Average rate of return is average annual profit divided by initial outlay, which means cost of the machine, times 100. So average annual profit is given 100,000, cost of machine divided by 400,000 times 100, it's 25%. Explain one benefit to a business of having a good relationship with its suppliers. Suppliers are likely to become more reliable. Therefore, supplies of raw materials are more likely to arrive on time. As a result, a business can now successfully operate a just-in-time stock control system and avoid warehouse expenses by having lower buffer stock. Which one of the following is a barrier to international trade? It's tariffs. So here you're given sales revenue for 2015, 16 and 17, but the question is asking for percentage increase in sales revenue from 2015 to 2016. So whenever it's a percentage increase, decrease or change in something, it's always new figure minus old divided by old figure times 100. So 150,000, whatever the number is, 1,500,000 divided by 750,000 times 100, big numbers, and you divide by the old, which is 2015 figure, and you get answered as 100%. So last question of section A is a 6 marker. Discuss the impact on a business of giving employees permanent contracts. 6 marker, treated as 2-3 markers. It's asking for the impact, so you can give positive, negative, 2 positives, 2 negatives, a positive and negative, that's acceptable. So it's about employees permanent contracts, and it's asking the impact on a business. Workers employed on permanent contracts are more likely to feel secure in their job. Therefore, motivation may be higher. This might lead to better productivity, enabling business to produce in larger quantities, thereby benefiting from economies of scale and reducing the average unit costs of production. Workers employed on permanent contracts are less likely to leave the business because of permanent contracts, making them confident that the business cannot fire them suddenly. This will lead the business to save money on recruiting and training new workers. Therefore, business may allow money to be spent in other areas of the business to improve competitiveness. So this question is about employees permanent contracts, but the benefit or impact is on the business. So you have to start with benefit for the employees and then how it affects the business. Section B is a case study based, so read the case study properly and use the parts in your answers. Outline one method Mind Candy could use to extend the product life cycle of one of its games. So it's 2 marker. Answer for the context. Mind Candy can build extra features into existing games such as Moshi Monsters. This means that it would be more appealing compared to games such as Candy Crush. It's a 6 marker. 6 marker, analyze the impact on Mind Candy of reducing the size of its workforce. This may make software developers that are still working for Mind Candy worried about keeping their jobs, which might decrease the staff morale. As a result, motivation of the remaining staff may fall. This could cause the quality of the apps and games produced to go down, reducing Mind Candy's competitive advantage, which will lead them to keep struggling and develop a changing app to recover their position. This may reduce their fixed costs since they no longer have to pay web designers a salary. This may reduce cash outflows, which may reduce the likelihood of business failure since the cash saved could be used to meet existing cash outflows. So, numerical questions, sales revenue, gross profit, other operating expenses are given. And the for A is to calculate cost of sales. Start with the formula. Gross profit is equal to sales revenue minus cost of sales. Rearrange. Cost of sales is equal to sales revenue minus gross profit. Just put in the values and you get the answer. Next is gross profit margin, which is gross profit divided by revenues times 100. Just pick the values from the table and the answer is 72.61%. So as a result of the problems it faced in 2013, Mind Candy changed its main business objective from growth to survival. Analyze the impact on Mind Candy of changing its main business objective to survival. 6 marker, treated as 2-3 markers. Mind Candy may have to abandon or reduce the development of new games and apps. This may cut costs and cash outflows, improving the cash flow, therefore improving the likelihood that Mind Candy may receive the £1.2 million investment that it needs to survive. Mind Candy may have to reduce its workforce of web designers and software developers. This may make them less attractive to the most highly skilled software developers since there may be fewer opportunities to work on high-profile new games. State one drawback to Mind Candy of organic growth: lack of cash, considering the company was making losses in 2013. Outline one method Mind Candy could use to promote its new app. Mind Candy could send out emails to all of its past customers since they would be part of the target market for Petlandia. That's a 9 marker. There will be 2 options given and the question is justify which one of these 2 options should choose. So choose one option which you can write most about, write positives and negatives about that, give a brief conclusion, and that's how you answer 9 marker. So the 2 options are retain profit to raise 1.2 million of extra finance needed or share capital. So I've chosen share capital here. Mind Candy can issue more shares since there may be investors willing to take a risk and purchase these shares considering the company had a global hit game in 2012. The newly issued shares would be a low-risk method of raising finance for Mind Candy. This is because it would not involve debt or the cash flow commitment of having to repay bank loans with interest at specific points in time. Therefore, Mind Candy can raise the finance needed without increasing the chances of failure. However, since the company made large losses in 2013, Mind Candy would have to issue a large number of shares to raise the extra £1.2 million. This may reduce the percentage ownership of the existing shareholders. Nevertheless, share capital could be better way as the investor might bring some expertise with him to make the business successful like before. And then it's section C. Again a case study. Read the case study properly to apply it to section C questions. One stage of the sales process. There are 5 stages. Give any one of them. So I've written product knowledge here. Next one is just to read the pie chart. Shows the market share of UK supermarkets. Using the information, identify the UK supermarket with a larger market share than Sainsbury's. So what is 27.8%? Which one is this one? It's Tesco from the boxes on the right hand side, and you just identify and write for 1 mark. 9 marker. In order to improve the motivation of its shop floor employees, Sainsbury's is considering 2 options: retraining, increase wages. Justify which one of these 2 options should Sainsbury's choose. Supermarket employees may gain more opportunities through being retrained. This may give them the option to work in other areas of the business such as unloading food or to use technology such as automated checkouts. This may make the job more interesting since it may give shop floor employees the ability to work in different parts of the Sainsbury's supermarket or allow them to develop new skills. However, retraining is more likely to benefit Sainsbury's than the employee. This is because the other jobs they may be trained to do within the supermarket may be at the same overall level of skill. Therefore, this outline one advantage to Sainsbury's of improving its customer service. People may be able to ask questions to shop floor workers about certain foods. This may make Sainsbury's customers more loyal. may not result in increased motivation. Then it's the 12 marker. Evaluate the likely impact on Sainsbury's of replacing fair trade with its own fairly traded scheme. You should use the information provided as well as your knowledge of business. Replacing fair trade with its own fairly traded scheme could cut costs for Sainsbury. This is because Sainsbury's no longer have to pay higher prices for fair trade products such as tea and bananas. Therefore, Sainsbury's may be able to operate a cheaper ethical scheme which they control and set the rules for, while still retaining the premium price for its own label groceries. This may allow larger profit margins on each grocery item sold. It might also give Sainsbury's ability to cut prices in the very competitive UK grocery market. As a result, it is more likely to be able to compete on price against other supermarkets like Aldi and Tesco. This may allow Sainsbury's to increase its market share and profit. However, this depends on how consumers react to the abandonment of fair trade scheme and the extent to which fairly traded is seen as a viable replacement. Sainsbury's ethically minded customers may decide to switch supermarkets, causing revenues to fall by more than the reduction in costs. Therefore, profits may decrease rather than increase. Nevertheless, it increases the choice for the customers. However, it depends on the degree to which ethically minded customers notice the change in the scheme and the degree to which it is publicized by the media. The fact that protests are taking place in London suggests this change may damage Sainsbury's brand image, causing a fall in market share. So that was your paper 2, 2019.